This segment of CoastLife is sponsored by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning.
You're watching CoastLife, and Charlie Sakaitis is off on vacation enjoying some Alaskan views. So, of course, we've got some awesome guest hosts. Lily Aller hasn't gone anywhere. She's sticking it out with us. And we're chatting with Lacey Coleman with Coastal Comfort, CEO of Coastal Comfort. Lacey, it's always so much fun to have you in studio with us.
Thank you for having me.
This is always a relevant time of year because things are heating up on Delmarva. So what are things that people need to know when it comes to getting their air conditioning system, their HVAC system up and running and ready for summer?
Absolutely. We're starting to get into some of that summer heat we've been waiting for and anticipating. The last few weeks have been a little bit cool and rainy and windy, but it's definitely here, and it always comes inevitably. So the important thing is to get your system ready. We always talk about filters. I can't stress how important that is. Having the routine maintenance, making sure your air filters are clean, coils are clean, things of that nature. And if you haven't had that done yet, even though we're into June, it's not too late. It's never too late to get your system maintenance and checked out to make sure that it's running perfect for air conditioning season. Everybody has air filters, by the way. Sometimes people don't realize that they do have air filters, and we ask, and like, what? We have? Yes. Every HVAC system should have air filtration somewhere. Sometimes it's in the house, sometimes it's in a basement, crawl space, attic, just depending on the setup of your system. So checking your air filters and making sure they're clean, that's really, really important. But also the condenser coil, we want to make sure that that's clean, making sure that the outdoor unit is free of any debris. That includes mulch, bushes, vines. Sometimes I'm riding around and I see vines that are growing up through the system. I see the lure there, but it's actually not good for the system. It can create some issues. So, making sure that the outdoor units are clean. Sometimes landscaping companies will pile up some mulch there at the bottom. That's not good for the system. It actually restricts airflow. So we want to make sure that it's free and clear. Where the drain terminates outside, in air conditioning mode, the system creates condensation and it should drain outside. We want to make sure that that is also clear and not clogged up, because that can cause the drain to back up and either overflow into the space that it's in, which could be a ceiling, a crawl space, a basement. So those are some things you can do to kind of prepare your system. On the other side, sometimes things do happen and it breaks down. So what should you do then? So generally we ask customers to just turn the system off. Sometimes customers will say, oh, I noticed that it was behind 5 or 6 degrees, so I turned it down to 50 degrees. You don't have to do that. If you have it set, at your normal temperature, whether it's 67 or 75, there's a wide range that customers are comfortable, and it's not able to keep up. It's best to, at that point, turn the system off, especially if you start seeing ice forming. If you do see that, you can turn the system off, or you can turn the mode to off and the fan to on. So we're trying to now thaw out the system. And if you have a frozen system and then you check your filter and realize, oh man, it's really packed up and dirty, I forgot to replace it, go ahead and let the system thaw out. It may take a day or so, and then try to turn it on again with a clean air filter. You may have been able to resolve the issue then. If it's still not working, then it's time to call a professional like Coastal Comfort.
Yes.
And then have it checked out. But the best thing to do as soon as you notice a problem is to call. If you notice a problem in the morning, it's best to try to call or text or schedule that service rather than waiting till late afternoon. As you can imagine, as the heat builds throughout the day, more and more people start to call in. So if you notice a problem in the morning, it's best to call first thing. HVAC companies are always definitely this time of year very, very busy. It's our busy season. So you want to call right away and get that on the schedule. So if you haven't had your system maintenance, it's not too late. If you notice a problem, check your air filter first, turn the system off, and then call for a technician.
There you go. So if you are one of the folks and maybe you didn't know you had air filters in your system, it's time to maybe take a look, make sure they're clean, and give Coastal Comfort a call if you do discover that there's a deeper problem there.
I also forgot to mention, and we see this often, especially down near the beaches because there is such a nice breeze, but you don't want to have doors and windows open while simultaneously running the air conditioning. It's going to cause the system to run at 100% capacity nonstop because it's trying to keep up, but we're allowing in heat, not only heat, but the humidity. Yes, so then your system is just working overdrive, 100% nonstop, trying to keep up, and then now we've overwhelmed it.
So
we see that a lot. So one or the other. If you want to shut the windows, close the doors, then turn on the air conditioning, that's fine. But you shouldn't do both. It's really not good for the health of the AC system.
Makes a lot of sense. So there's a reason why Lacey is the expert. And if folks do have questions, concerns, or need to schedule an appointment, Coastal Comfort has you covered on all your HVAC system questions. Lacey, thank you as always for coming in today.
Of course, thank you.
Of course. We do have some more Coast Life to get to. Lily and I have more chatting to do when we get back.